And we're going to bring in my great friend and mentor himself, Newt Gingrich, former House Speaker, Fox News contributor. You know, Newt, it's just kind of interesting to contrast the philosophy of Alan Greenspan, whom you knew very well. He was a great friend and mentor to me and many, many other conservatives and conservative economists. And he piloted us through an incredibly successful, prosperous 20 years and so forth. You look at his creed of freedom and free enterprise versus what these democratic socialists are doing, and it is a far cry. And as much as Greenspan's creed and philosophy succeeded, they're going to fail. And I hope they don't get a chance to fail in anything but losing elections come November. That's my take. I don't want to even try it once more.
Look, I mean, we have to be willing to go right at the facts and to wage campaigns based on facts. It's a fact that big government socialism doesn't work. It's not going to work in Chicago, not going to work in New York, not going to work in Washington, D.C. It is not working in California because, as Margaret Thatcher once said, the socialists run out of the other people's money to spend. Alan Greenspan understood that there were basic principles. It's a little bit like if you want to boil water, you put it on the stove and you turn up the heat. If you want to freeze water, you put it in the freezer and allow it to get cold. Now, socialists believe somehow you wave a magic wand and frozen or hot water shows up. It is nuts. And I think we have to be clearer about saying this is not about political philosophy. This is about whether or not you're in touch with reality or you're crazy. And people like Mondami, for all practical purposes, are crazy. They don't have an alternative philosophy. They have an alternative reality which does not exist.
You know, it's interesting to, think about Greenspan and the contrast. Greenspan, working with all these different presidents, okay, Bill Clinton, you worked with Bill Clinton. My view is you nurtured Bill Clinton. I think Greenspan nurtured Bill Clinton to bring out the better, bring out the best. And he used people around him like Robert Rubin. Robert Rubin may be a social liberal, but he was an economic conservative working in the Bill Clinton administration. You wouldn't see any of that now in a Democratic administration. And of course, Greenspan worked with Ronald Reagan and the Bushes and so forth for lower taxes and deregulation. And it worked. I'm just saying those numbers we posted earlier on growth and low inflation and soaring stock prices and affordability and income, that's the result of freedom and free enterprise. And if you give these socialists a chance in this November's election, we are going to have the opposite. Put a minus sign in front of all of it, Newt. And the GOP's got to push that. They've got to argue that. Here, this experiment worked. Greenspan is a perfect apostle for it. And this experiment's going to fail.
No, I think that's exactly the campaign we should run. Remember, two big things about Greenspan. When we worked together, and you have to give Bill Clinton some credit, and we were the only people to balance the budget for 4 straight years in a century. Greenspan actually had a press briefing where he thought we would pay off the national debt by 2009. Now, I mean, he was totally engaged with what Clinton and I were trying to do. Second, to show you how big a gap there is from all these nutcakes who want to have all these tax increases, Greenspan actually believed that the right capital gains tax was zero. That you actually got more economic growth, and you increased total tax revenue from a dramatically bigger economy. I think it'll be terrific for somebody on the conservative side, whether the Wall Street Journal or somewhere, to go through and just put together the best of Greenspan as sort of a guide for the next generation, because he knew a lot, he did a lot, and it worked.
And by the way, whenever and wherever possible, he wanted to stop federal government spending and new programs, right? As did you. But you were the reformer. He wanted to, listen, he was at heart a libertarian, or he had a lot of libertarian blood in him. You know, he shows up in the pictures of the Ayn Rand weddings. He, Marty Anderson, Annalise Anderson, all friends of mine. Fantastic stuff. But he knew big government socialism, your phrase, would fail. He knew that. Now, I just would like to see our GOP friends from the top on down in this election say that. Big government socialism failed. By the way, it failed under Joe Biden. That was only a couple of weeks ago, a year and a half ago.
That's right.
Okay, I mean, it's just not like I'm pulling something out of the 19th century. And it's always failed. It's always failed. And totalitarianism always failed. So why can't we organize around that in political terms, Newt?
Well, I think we can, and I think the more we do, the better off we'll be. And we should be absolutely unequivocal about this. Big government socialism does not work. It's not working in Chicago, where over the weekend a frightening number of people were killed. It doesn't work in Los Angeles, where there are homeless all over the place. It doesn't work in Washington, D.C., where the new mayor is going to be a total disaster. And of course, Mondami is trapped. He can't possibly afford all the goodies he wants to give away. So I think, frankly, Greenspan, I meant what I said a minute ago. If somebody could put together the best of Alan Greenspan and give it to every Republican candidate in the country, it will be a great service. And frankly, to a handful of moderate Democrats who are still in touch with reality. They're a minority, but they are in touch with reality, and they do know that you can't just fantasize about the future and hope it will show up.
So look at this. Today's Journal, Wall Street Journal editorial, very good. I mean, it's stuff that you've talked about, I've talked about. But look, open borders, abolish ICE, 4-day work weeks with no loss in pay, universal basic income, federal jobs guarantee, free everything, child care, education, K education, Medicare, including abortion, rent controls, freezing electricity bills, packing the Supreme Court, a national wealth tax. I mean, it's unbelievable. But they're actually running on this news. Now, they have to be held to account. We have tried this experiment before, and it failed miserably. That's what I'm trying to punch away. I don't know whether they can get a reconciliation 3.0. Honestly, I don't know. But at least they ought to, take heart from a guy like Greenspan, who wasn't really a politician. Maybe he was a little bit, but was a great central banker and got us to prosperity, and work on that, hammer away. And by the way, with oil prices coming down now and the president seemingly to have his way with Iran in the Middle East, things are picking up here. The economy is doing very well right now.
Now, just remember, Republicans have to learn that no one in the liberal media is going to give them a break. No one in the liberal media is going to report good news. And Republicans have to get a heck of a lot better at telling the truth. Right now, Democrats lie better than Republicans tell the truth. And that's a big disadvantage for a free society.
Wow, that's a very interesting point. That is one very interesting point. Newt Gingrich, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And we'll all say a prayer for Mr. Greenspan.